My son just called and said that his school just brought him to a protest. So he's currently at a fucking protest. I'm fitting to go rage. Who the fuck said you could bring my child to a protest? Any of our kids to a protest. They see what's happening today. Bringing kids out there now. Purposely. Schools. Washington State. Send this out. Washington State. Sending their kids to protest. I'll see you soon. Let me give you a little rundown on the way there. White Center, we call out here Rat City. If anybody from Washington State knows this Rat City is not an area you bring kids, let alone bring kids to a protest in this piece of shit city. If anybody knows White Center, you know Rat City is dangerous. Why are you bringing our kids into dangerous territory with fucking protesting going on? Anyway, I'll see you soon. See you in the next video. It looks like they made it all back to the school already before I could get here. Yeah, so they all just got back before I can get here. All the kids.
Kids, parents, get your kids out of these schools that's forcing your kids to protest. What we're starting to see now that the liberals and the Democrats are doing in these liberal states and cities, they're forcing your kids to protest. They're taking your kids out of school and taking them to a protest. They are putting your kids in the front lines without your permission. Take your kids out of these schools if they're doing that. We've seen from a lot of these schools, especially in these liberal Democrat cities and states, they're removing the power of the parent. They want to parent your kids. We see this when they're teaching your kids about transgenders and gays in school. Now we see this that they're telling your kids how to protest, how to stage a protest. Now they're actually taking your kids without your permission to do a protest. What do they call it? Indoctrination? That's what this is. We see they do not want the parents involved. This is why you have to take your kids out of that school. This is why you have to move to a red state. This is why you just have to live in Europe. Live somewhere else where there's common sense. Why in the hell would you take my kids out of school to do a protest without my permission? They're trying to take over and be the parent to our kids. We have teachers in our school districts that are teaching our kids about stuff that they should not be learning. What is important about teaching my kid on how to protest? They are trying to push out a mission. They're trying to put our kids on the front lines. Why? Why would they take our kids to a protest? Because they want something to happen to our kids at these protests. They want this to be a news coverage so they can go against Trump so these things can stop. They're doing anything they can to make these ICE people stop from going after illegal immigrants. Now they're using the kids. They try to get them as many Hispanics as they can. They try to get as many black people as they can. But they was like, you know what? Get the kids. We see kids leaving school in San Francisco and California and Georgia, all these places where Democrats run, taking them out of school to protest. But all they're doing is creating chaos. But this is what they want. Just like how they had the people in Minnesota protesting, they wanted somebody to get shot. Because now we can put pressure on the administration to stop. But now what they're doing is they want to bring kids out there. Because why? They want something to happen to the kids. Parents, you got to make a change. You got to get your kids out of these schools. As a parent myself, you know how pissed off I would be if you taking my kid without my permission to a protest? And a lot of these places are saying that's not illegal. Who's the parent? They want to take you out of the equation so they can be the parent, so they can have the kids push the mission that they need to get done. If you don't see that as a parent, if you're not locked in with your kid can be a victim of all of this, which is sad. Why are we putting our babies into danger? Why are we putting them in this Why? Oh, we want to teach them. Nope. 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 Nope.
Fucking furry teachers on their bikes. Is this really what's going on?
This is who's teaching your kids right here. This is who's teaching your kids going out there to protest. White liberal teachers that don't have nothing going on in their life, that probably don't have kids themselves. Look at this. Skinny, furry, don't know what to do with themselves. Let's go ahead and have the kids go protest. These are the people that's teaching our kids. That's the reason why our kids are so jacked up. It's because we got teachers more focused on protesting than being more focused on reading, math, and arithmetic. Look at this. Outside. Why are these kids failing? Why are these kids dumb? Because look who's teaching them.
This is craziness. This is craziness.
That's who's making your kids go protest. Look, on a bike, white, feeling like they doing something. If our protest is not doing nothing, let's get the kids to go out there. That's who's in charge of your kids. This is why you got to pay attention to who your teacher is. What are they about? What are their values? Because you know what, to be honest, parents should be able to choose the kid's teacher. We should be interviewing teachers. What's your values? What are you teaching my child? Oh, right, that's cool. That's what you want to teach. I'm not putting my child in your class. Because you got a lot of teachers that's in your class that just trying to do damage to your kids. This is a time more than ever that you have to pay attention to your kids. See, our parents got off, right? Our parents didn't have to worry about teachers doing this to us. See, but us as parents, this is what we got to go against. Oh, he's friendly. He looks nice. Nope, he not. He not. The slow-mo is crazy, though.
We got the blue hairs, everything. Are you serious? Yellow hair? Oh my God, my kid is at a woke school. What is going on? This is Cascade Middle School, everybody. Cascade Middle School.
See, but as a parent, you got to already know this. You got to already know this about the school that your kids is going to. Oh my gosh, my kids, you should already know that. That's what I'm saying. As a parent, you got to be more locked in than ever. Got to be. You got to go to these school functions. You got to talk to these teachers. You got to look at these teachers. You got to see what these teachers are all about. Because if you don't, your kid is ruined.
In Washington State. Did you consent to that?
I didn't want to.
You didn't want to do that?
No, after the cops came up, one of the guys was like the guy with the megaphone, like a kid, who was like, do not talk to the federal thing, Bob, whatever it is.
Just believe I will be at the next school board meeting.
Take your kid out of school. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even be at the school board meeting. I'm just going to take them out homeschool. But you can't do that. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to homeschool my kid. You know what, to be honest, some of these school districts is better off just teaching your kid yourself. I'd rather my kid be taught by me than go to school and be taught these nonsense things. It's like now, that's the reason why it's more expensive than ever to have a kid. It's because you can't put your kid in public school no more. You have to put your kid into a private, Christian, Catholic school, something that has some type of know-how, some type of common sense. Because if you take your kid to these public schools, you're done. That's why having a kid is more expensive, because you got to pay for extra tutoring because the kids ain't learn nothing in school. Then you got to pay for a private school so your kid can have morals and values and understand what God and Christianity is and not worried about ICE protests. That's the reason why kids are expensive today. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, keep this thing right, keep it going. Go get a Patreon. The link is in the description below. I appreciate you guys' support. No Filter Morning Show is coming. We're going to do this tomorrow. I feel it. But I appreciate you guys. I'm out.